They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
Good morning. Liam Bartlett with you for a 9 News special presentation, the official broadcast of the Anzac Day dawn service live from Kings Park. Today marks 100 years since Australian soldiers landed at Gallipoli. For 8,000 of them, there would be no coming home. For a young nation, it would mean birth of a legend, the spirit of Anzac. And this morning we remember the Anzacs and all Australian servicemen and women who have served and given their lives in conflict for their country. Of course, Kings Park is the main focus this morning. Tim McMillan is there. Tim, we're seeing that this moment of history is not lost on West Australians 1 century on.
It certainly isn't, Liam. Good morning to you. The dawn service will start here in just a few minutes' time. Tens of thousands are already here. They've come down on what is a chilly morning here in Kings Park to pay their respects. Remarkable, we have this huge crowd here, and yet it is so quiet at the moment. You can just about hear a pin drop. They are, of course, waiting in silence for dawn and for the service to begin. And this morning, there will be a special focus on the 1,023 West Australians who died at Gallipoli, their sacrifice and the loss experienced by their families.
For me, the first paved stones of the Anzac legacy was those deeds done in Gallipoli.
People actually do want to hear about these men, how the families had their hearts ripped out by, the death of their loved one.
If we don't take time to reflect on where we've been and where we've come as a nation and as a defence force, then we're really failing ourselves as Australians and as citizens.
1,023 West Australians dead. Just a portion of our 8,000 citizens killed on the battlefront at Gallipoli.
Particularly with the West Australians, they were in the 11th Battalion and the 12th Battalion, and they landed in the first wave on early in the morning of April 25th. And as soon as they landed under heavy fire, they had to make their way up the steep cliffs.
One of those men was Cyril Bolle. He died 100 years ago today as he stormed the Turkish beach.
And he was killed apparently within about 5 minutes of landing. However, his family didn't know about his death.
And this is Bertie Newbury, a 25-year-old Perth bank teller turned soldier, believed killed at Lone Pine in August 1915. His body is still missing, a century on.
Nobody knew. The mother and his father were living in hope.
Like thousands of others, his body left behind because it was too dangerous to collect. Perth researcher Shannon Lovelady found Bertie and Cyril's stories, part of her life's work to identify every West Australian killed at Gallipoli.
We're now the only state that has a list of their definitive Gallipoli dead.
And today, as we remember their sacrifice, the everyday struggles not encountered by today's troops come into focus.
It wasn't a 4-hour plane ride like we get today. There wasn't the beauty of R&R. You didn't get to come home. Some of these men went with kids that are 1 month old. They came back when they were 3 or 4 years old.
Those original diggers setting the example for our servicemen to come.
We all looked after each other. Nobody went to lay out on his own. He's always there somebody to help him.
If we forget, history's gone. And history in the early days was his story. But today, it's our whole story.
Well, you only have to take a look at the crowd here this morning to see that the stories of the Anzacs have not been forgotten. 100 years on, WA is about to pause to remember. So here is the 2015 Kings Park dawn service.